A Jacksonville rapper known as Ksoo is among 5 people indicted on first-degree murder charges. The News 4 Jax I-team has been looking into this case and others involving local rappers making music videos about real murders. Here now.
Ksoo, aka Hakeem Robinson, is a drill rapper from Jacksonville, a city located on the Atlantic coast of Florida. Ksoo is notoriously known for his disrespectful antics towards alleged victims of his and fellow gang associates. He is currently facing first-degree murder charges, which carries the possibility of a death sentence.
After 2 men running through a backyard, jumping a fence during a police chase following a deadly shooting at a shopping center on Mirror Road. 8 months later,
there were 2 witnesses that appeared, but a third witness did not appear, and we have begun coordinating deposition dates for the additional rounds. I know Mr. Ryer's office up here.
Although the beef started way before the shooting and murder of Zion Brown, also known for being a cousin to Julio Fulio, another KTA rapper from Jacksonville, Florida. This was the catalyst that led to the following events thereafter. The person responsible for the shooting of Zion Brown would later be apprehended and revealed to be an associate of Youngan Ace. This would lead to a plethora of attacks on Youngan Ace, with the most deadly leading to the death of his brother Trayvon Bullard, age 18, and 2 of his friends, Royale Devon Smith Jr., age 18, and Jacoby Deshad Groover, age 19.
Thank you. Breaking overnight, the search is on for a killer. The search for whomever shot 4 young men near the St. John's Town Center. They were sitting in a car. Another car pulls up next to them. The person in that other car opens fire, and speeds away.
Now, 3 of the men died. A 4th is in the hospital with critical injuries. Now, this happened on Town Center Parkway. It's just off I-295, across from the entrance.
The 2 rival gangs would taunt each other back and forth with viral hit songs like Who I Smoke, Can't Think, and When I See You. KTA soon followed up with a hit on ATK member boss Goon, aka Willie Addison.
25-year-old rapper in the moments leading to his death. Addison was performing at the Paradise Gentlemen's Club Wednesday morning just after 2 a.m. when this video was taken. Soon after, he was shot inside of a silver Chevy Tahoe, carrying 5 other people. Those 5 including Addison's father, brother, and friends, according to a family friend. They're all expected to survive.
Although there were several instances in which both sides suffered losses, many have stated that this specific incident would change Ksoo for the worse. Boss Goon was his blood brother. He was ambushed while leaving a performance at a club. Ksoo started terrorizing members of KTA by getting back even with the death of Lil Bibby.
Gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone.
60 to 70 rounds had to be dropped in the course of maybe 15 seconds.
It's alleged that Ksoo and Scotty 33 ran up on Bibby and Pop Out while they were hanging out together. Bibby and Pop Out saw the men approaching and took off in opposite directions. Pop Out was pursued by Scotty while Ksoo followed after Bibby. Pop Out was successful in evading Scotty and was able to walk out with his life, but unfortunately, Bibby wouldn't be so lucky. The story goes, Bibby Osama tripped and fell while running from Ksoo, at which point Ksoo was able to catch up with him and shoot him execution style with a round to the back of Bibby's head. He was only 16 at the time.
You see a hawk, you like this. Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
He was 16 with a body on his belt. He was fighting all them demons.
KTA would retaliate by catching Ksoo and ATK members at a hotel in Waycross, Georgia after a performance. The shooting left Jeremy Brookings, aka Ralo, dead. This was another loss for ATK members.
Ware County tonight, 3 Jacksonville men face charges after a reported ambush targeting rapper Youngan Ace in Waycross early yesterday morning. 1 man was killed, another hurt in that shooting. Alex Addison joins us tonight from Waycross with new details in the investigation.
The bullet holes here, and right over there, the lingering reminders of this deadly shooting at this Waycross hotel.
Well, it's kind of scary. I mean, thank goodness we were closed.
Ayanna Smith works just across the street from the Hampton Inn, the scene of Sunday's shooting. A group of men, including rapper Youngan Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police. Jeremy Brookings killed. Waycross police arresting 3 Jacksonville men: Mark Isaac Jefferson, Leroy Gerard Whitaker, and Devontae DeMorris Starks, all facing various charges, including possession of a firearm.
Ksoo would allegedly conspire against Charles McCormick Lil Buck just after a diss track that was put out about Ksoo falling brother, Boss Goon. This hit would unfortunately be the downfall of Ksoo, as it was carried out in broad daylight with several witnesses and condemning evidence. An off-duty officer was on scene at the Arlington plaza while an unknown suspect was standing over Lil Buck and shooting him dead. The shooters would escape in a stolen Nissan with police in hot pursuit. They would end up crashing into a residential neighborhood. 2 of the shooters would end up holding a lady hostage in order to change clothing and make an escape. They were also caught on a neighbor's surveillance footage running through the backyard. There's also another video of one of the shooters which police are alleging is Ksoo. I personally don't think he fits the build of the picture in comparison, but there are other key evidence against Ksoo. One of the shooters would later be identified by one of their tattoos by a key witness. When Dominique Barner was picked up for home invasion and murder, he was captured on record bragging about the hit on Lil Buck, giving all the details. He gave it all up. It doesn't mean that he was talking to the police per se. This just means they probably had him incarcerated with a confidential informant who secretly recorded the conversation that led to the police finding out the role each man played in the grand scheme of things. Police picked up the men involved, including Scotty 33, Ksoo, and Ksoo's father, who's expected to testify against the rapper. Damn, I can't imagine how both of these men are feeling. To hear that your father is taking the stand against you is hard, and on the other end of the spectrum, imagine your son got you mixed up in some shit you had nothing to do with. I'm not saying the father is innocent, nor am I saying he's guilty, but I doubt he was clueless to the beef that was going on between his son and rival gang. Because not only did he lose a son himself to the violence, but he was also a victim at the shooting that left Boss Goon dead. And to have to take the stand against your child, I don't think I could, but that's just me. To make matters worse for Ksoo, he has several lyrics that will make it even harder for him to get off on this. Frequently referencing real events where shootings or murders took place. For example, in the song Been Dead, he goes on to say, in another song he says, them choppers be yelling, I stepped on all them boys for you, now beat they ass up in heaven. I found this interrogation where he was questioned, but I just shortened it because throughout the entire video, all that can be seen is Ksoo complaining about how aggravated he is with his current situation.
You gotta turn down a little bit. Hold this up. Roll your wrist up. Alright, we're gonna just a second now. My feet. You look crazy, man. He aggravating as hell, man. Shit, you're aggravating. Oh, well, let me go. I don't even care about y'all wife. Well, let me go. That shit aggravating.
Shout out to Crime Circus for this footage. I want to note that this is a common tactic used by detectives in many interrogation settings. This allows for the suspect to grow weary. It's a small way of breaking you down so that you're mentally exhausted by the time of questioning. Many suspects start to display signs of nervousness or guilt during this phase. The best way to be in this situation is patient and calm because no matter what, you have to face the music. So it's best to conserve your energy for what is to come. I also want to note that these videos are used to show and determine a person's character. Considering the amount of trouble Ksoo is in, I believe he handles this situation well.
Damn, this shit aggravating, dog.
We want to talk to you about some things, but before we talk to you about anything, we want to go over your rights with you, okay?
Okay.
All right. What's your highest level of education? What's the last grade you completed? High school?
I think 10th grade.
Completed 10th grade. So you can read and write, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently on any medication?
No, sir.
No medication. Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental illness or anything like that?
I don't remember though.
You don't remember? I have to ask you this, but you've been in jail for a while. You had any drugs or alcohol lately? No drugs or alcohol? And you're fully capable of having a conversation with me today. You don't hear any birds flying around the room or anything, right? Okay. We're at 501 East Bay Street. Today's date is the 10th.
Yep. It's 2:47.
Okay. 10th, 2021. And it is 2:47 p.m. Can you do me a favor and read that first line out loud for me?
You have to follow under the United States Constitution.
Okay. I'm going to read the rest of it. We're going to go over it together, okay? It says you do not have to make a statement or say anything. You understand that? Anything you say can be used against you in court. You understand that? You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you make a statement or before any questions are asked of you, and to have the lawyer with you during any questions.
Okay.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questions, if you wish. If you do answer questions, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time and consult a lawyer. You understand your rights? I'd like you to sign right here saying we're going over your rights with you and you understand your rights. Are you from Jacksonville?
Can I ask what I'm being down here for?
I'm going to tell you that in just a second. Are you from Jacksonville?
Can I ask what I'm being down here for?
I'm going to go over that with you in just a minute.
I need to ask what I'm down here for.
You're going to be down here. We're doing a homicide investigation, and you're down here part of a homicide investigation that we're conducting.
And what is this, sir?
Let me show you some pictures of what we're talking about.
The biggest mistake I've seen countless people do in this situation is to speak to the police after being read their Miranda rights. Even if you are free of any wrongdoing, it's always best to consult with an attorney because literally anything you say can and will be used against you.
You know what that is?
No, sir.
You don't know what that is? Bibby ring a bell to you?
I don't speak with my lawyer.
You want to speak with your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The fact that Ksoo denied knowing Bibby could be used to show that Ksoo is lying when asked a simple question like, does Bibby ring a bell to you? When he has several videos and songs using the name Bibby, so anything he says moving forward can be looked at as him being deceitful.
It's going to be a bit. We're going to be out there doing some paperwork. You do have a warrant for your arrest.
We have a warrant for your arrest for murder today.
What?
Yes.
For what?
You want your lawyer, so I can't tell you no more, but you'll be in trouble.
What the hell? Damn, boy.
Not much was said between the officers and Ksoo, as Ksoo would request to speak to a